English language is very funny. We come up with some phrases, some expressions that actually make me laugh, but then that guide our ways in life on a daily basis. You look at the expression when they say a thin line, a fine line, and they're saying to you that in everything that you do, there is a fine line between two extremes. It is true, although it's funny. So they talk about the fine line, the thin line between success and failure. They talk about this thin line, that margin, that small margin of error between being successful and not being successful, between pass and fail. They talk about the fine line between that goal being scored and not being scored. It's all about a fine line. Little do we know, though, that the lines that we talk about, the fine line that we talk about, is usually guided and governed by the actions that we take, the buttons that we press, especially when the going is tough. And this is where I am on this one. We talk about the buttons that we press that determine the fine line between the extremes in our lives. Many times do we not press this button, what I call the panic button, just a little bit too quickly? Do we not get a little bit too aggressive ahead of ourselves in pressing buttons that will now shape our lives and now determine whether we are successful or not? I'll give you an example. Not football one for starters. You have a big meeting coming up. They've told you to turn up at a certain hour, let's say 11 o'clock in the morning. You've given yourself enough time to make your way to that meeting. That meeting is very important, really crucial to your career. It's a presentation, it's an interview, it's whatever. But you've decided that you're going to go and you're going to give your everything into this meeting. However, you're driving, and on your way to this meeting, ahead of you on the highway, and this has happened to me, ahead of you on the highway, you see a sea of red lights, cars braking, because it looks to you like if there will be traffic ahead. And it looks like, if I continue on this route, I might be late for my meeting. I've seen that there could be traffic because I can see 3, 4, 5 red lights, cars braking. So what do? You see a road just off the highway, you make a detour. You want to take the back roads because you want to keep moving so you can make your appointment. You didn't know that the lights that you saw in front of you was just very temporary. Maybe they were just trying to avoid a little bit of debris on the road, and that just beyond those lights, the road has cleared. You've taken a detour, you've left the road. You've gone through the back roads to add an additional hour to your journey time, although you kept moving. And you get to your meeting late, and you don't make a good impression. What you did at that point was that you hit the panic button too quickly. You didn't know what was ahead of you. You didn't know how good or how bad it was. You hit the panic button too quickly, and you ended up not making your appointment. In the last couple of weeks, I've had a very difficult experience, personally. It was a November to remember for me. In my football world, it happened and it wasn't great. The people around me, the people who govern what I do, hit some buttons, and it remains to be seen whether it will be a panic button hit too quickly and too rapidly, or whether we are actually on our way to self-destruct. Posterity will judge. But it is very important that when you go into half-time during a football game and you see that things are not working out well, there is a time when you hit that button. Some managers are good at it, some are not. You hit that button and you go for it again. Panic button, though, very important to time it and be sure that you're hitting the button at the right time in anything that you do, so that success will be on the other side for you. And this is my message to us today. Learning from my experience, learning from what I've gone through, it is important for us not to hit the panic button too quickly, because that panic button can turn into the self-destruct button. Very important for us to reflect, to think long and hard, to look at the factors that guided and governed where we are, where we found ourselves, in order to know what kind of button we are going to press. Are we going to press the panic button, or do we press the reset button? Those are two different things. The most important thing you don't want to do is hit the self-destruct button in the name of panic. It is very important, and it applies to everybody. Know when you draw the line, know when you stop. Know when you want to hit that button and what you want to do with that button, because the buttons that we press impact our lives, and it impacts the results on whether we're successful or whether we're not, or whether we go hungry or whether you're full, on everything. That button that we press is one that we need to carefully look at and think about before we press it, so that, like I said, a button that we press in panic does not turn into the self-destruct one. It applies to everybody. It is in the mindset. The mindset is for us to know and determine that we need to press buttons. Buttons are necessary for us to press so that we can shape our lives. But what button are we going to be pressing? Is it the panic button that leads to self-destruct? Is it the reset button that makes us change tack and decide on plan B, whatever it is that we're going to do? Or is it a button that just says, egos on, and let's keep going because we're not doing too badly? Very important to make sure that the buttons we press do not destroy us. Thank you very much for watching me. Thank you. I've missed you being here, and I hope that you've missed me as well. And if you really have, you can tell me. Comments. Make your comments. Let me see your feedback. Let me hear from you. Let me know whether I'm doing well or maybe not. Also, subscribe to me. Please subscribe to me, to my YouTube channel, and remember to hit the notification button, not the panic button, the notification button that will tell you when I'm back again, because I intend to come back and I intend to find you here. In the meantime, press the right button. You finished watching me, you can press the button to say stop. It's alright, you're allowed, but don't press the panic button too quickly, because it could lead to self-destruct. Thank you once again.